Off the Cuff is supported by Patreon. Join today and become an honorary producer with in-show credit, plus get other off-the-cuff gifts and merchandise. Hi everybody, and welcome to Off the Cuff. Today's episode is all about this. What? The takeout carton commonly used by Chinese restaurants known as the paper pail, invented in 1894 in Chicago by Frederick Weeks Wilcox? Close, but no cigar. It's going to be about takeout Chinese food, which is one of my passions. I love Chinese food. Takeout, eat in, it doesn't matter. But we're talking about takeout today. Yeah, now growing up, I really didn't like Chinese food because I wasn't exposed to it. My dad didn't like it, and my mom grew up during the Depression. She only liked chop suey. More on that later. In college, a good friend of mine exposed me to really good Chinese food. Mushu chicken, slippery chicken, which is spicy chicken over a bed of spinach, and also one of my favorites, Kung Pao Gai Ding, which is Kung Pao chicken, hot and spicy chicken over a bed of rice with peppers, vegetables, hot sauce, and peanuts. Oh, anything that has peanuts, I absolutely love. Again, I'm a type 2 diabetic. I have to watch my carbs. And anytime I order Kung Pao chicken, I'm going to spike my blood sugar because it has carbs. And you know what? Chinese restaurants, especially here in the West Coast, do a great job of including low-carb menu items on their menu, but they're kind of bland. I want Kung Pao chicken. Today, I'm going to demonstrate a low-carb recipe for Kung Pao chicken. And I know what you're thinking. What about the rice? We're going to use cauliflower rice, homemade. It's going to be yummy. How exciting is this? We're going to have a takeout favorite right here at home. Want extra peanuts? Go for it. Mild, spicy, extra spicy, you got it. It's all totally up to you.
Damn, it's busy today.
Huh?
You've got the low-carb Kung Pao, right?
Well, I will. I haven't started cooking yet.
Dude, chop. I've got orders to fill.
Okay, first off, is there some magical portal where people can just enter my kitchen whenever they want? And secondly, what orders?
40 low-carb extra hot, 12 low-carb extra peanuts, 5 no peanuts.
Damn peanut allergies. I'll have to cook those separately.
10 mild, 9 no spice, 3 vegan, and 1 hold the peppers. You got that?
Yeah. No. What is this? Who are you?
Dash?
The food delivery app?
Yeah, man. My phone started blowing up as soon as you opened up this joint.
First of all, this isn't a joint. This is my kitchen.
Yeah, it is pretty small. You might want to actually think about expanding, maybe get something a little bigger.
I live here.
I know what you mean, man. I work so much, I feel like I live on the road.
No, this is my apartment.
Oh, I got you. So it's like a pop-up.
No, it's not a popcorn.
A pop-up.
What did I say?
Popcorn?
It's not that either.
Oh, dude, what about my orders? I've got 79 and counting. Make that 78. Someone canceled. Come on, man.
Okay. Let's just slow this down. What's your name?
Nash,
okay. Sorry, wait. Nash. Your name is Nash and you work for Dash?
Yeah, so?
Millennials. Very alliterative.
Oh, man, I just got 4 more cancellations. Are my orders ready yet?
I haven't even started cooking.
Look, I'm in a rush. The longer I wait, the more orders I lose. Oh, crap. My rating's dropping. How many orders can you give me?
1.
1?
This is a cooking show. It's not a restaurant or a popcorn pop-up.
Not with that attitude. You treat all your customers like this?
I don't have any customers.
Well, I can certainly see why. I've got to go before my rating completely tanks. How long for the 1 order?
How long?
Listen, I got a family to feed.
A family?
The Johnsons. They're my one family that hasn't canceled their order.
I wish I could help you.
Great. They canceled.
Well, I'm sorry, dude.
You know, I don't think this job was right for me anyway. I think I'm going to pursue my dream.
Oh, good for you. What's your dream?
Oh, well, to market an instant pho soup that people can make at home.
Oh, I love pho. What's it going to be called?
The pho kit.
The pho kit? Catchy name. Here are the ingredients.
Oh, thanks.
No, for mine, not yours. Okay, so here are the ingredients we're going to need to make our homemade low-carb Kung Pao Chicken. First up, the Kung Pao Chicken. 1 pound boneless, skinless chicken thighs. 2 stalks celery. 1/4 cup peanuts. 1/3 medium bell pepper diced or chopped, any color you like. I'm using red. 1 tablespoon coconut oil. 1 teaspoon ground ginger. 1/2 teaspoon minced garlic, and 1/4 teaspoon xanthan gum. Now for the Kung Pao sauce. 1/4 cup each of liquid aminos and chicken broth. 1 1/2 tablespoon red pepper sauce. 1 teaspoon sesame oil and 1 teaspoon rice wine vinegar, and 1 tablespoon erythritol. And for the cauliflower rice. 1 head cauliflower. 2 tablespoons olive oil, 2 teaspoons black pepper, and 1 teaspoon pink Himalayan salt. Okay, so this recipe is a little prep heavy, which means we have to do the vegetables, the cauliflower, all that up front, mix the sauce. That's fine. We're going to do that first. Then we're going to take the chopped chicken and cook it and get our Kung Pao nice and piping hot. I cannot wait. We take our cauliflower. Yes, this is actually a small cauliflower. Just take out the stem like that. I'm only doing 1 serving of Kung Pao, so I figured this is good enough to make my rice. Now we put it in our food processor like that. Yeah. Now we're gonna pulse. See that? It's already ricing. And we have it. There is our cauliflower rice. Now I will say this, there's more than one way to make cauliflower rice at home. You can use your processor like I just did, or you can get the grating plate of the processor and you can put it through. It comes out a little bit more uniform that way. Or you can get a metal grater and do it manually. Obviously, I was into convenience. Time to chop the vegetables. Here's the celery. I already, stripped off all the stringy covering it has. And now we're gonna chop this up very nicely. And kind of have to break up. I didn't cut all the way through on some of them, so I'm kind of breaking them apart. They're breaking me apart. Oh, hi, Paul. Okay, the peppers. Take off that top. Take it off. Take off that bottom. Take it off. And we're just gonna cut it like this. There go the peppers. Oh, take the little tag off. You don't want to be eating that. Although it is edible. Not meaning it's tasty, but meaning if you consume it accidentally, it's not a big deal. But yeah, I'm not going to eat it accidentally. Sorry, not me. Take these back like this, and go. Take our red peppers. They're going to go in there. And now chop up some green. Chop, chop, chop the green. It's not easy being green. That is not a good Kermit. Yeah, some of the pieces are uneven and they're bigger than others, but you know what? They're going to shrink when I cook them anyway. And there we go. Okay, our vegetables are cut. Our cauliflower is riced. Now it's time for the chicken. Okay, I've laid out my chicken here on my cutting board, and now we're gonna chop this up into small bite-sized pieces. Yeah, so the whole thing here is to chop it nice and easy. You want it to be bite-sized, so you can put it on a fork or a spoon. That's fine. Another thing, when you use your cutting board like this, like I am, as you notice, I did the vegetables first. The reason why I did that is because you don't want to mix the chicken remains or the chicken with any kind of vegetable because of salmonella. You want to do this last, and after you do this, you want to make sure you clean this with soap and hot water to make sure that all the chicken remnants are gone. All right, our chicken is diced and ready. Now let's make that sauce. Making the sauce is insanely easy. You take your chicken broth, your liquid aminos. This is the sesame oil, the rice wine vinegar, the hot sauce. Oh yeah, there goes the hot sauce, everybody. And you can use liquid stevia. I'm using a confectionery erythritol. Let's get in there. Come on, all of you get in there. Now we whisk. Whisk it up. There you go. There's our sauce. Now it's time to make that cauliflower rice. Okay, we're putting in about 2 tablespoons of olive oil. That's about enough. Just enough to coat the pan. Okay, it's starting to pop a little bit, so I think it's about ready for the rice. I'm going to put in a little at a time. There we go. Now we don't want to fry this, so I'm now putting this down to medium heat and mixing it in well. What this does, of course, is it cooks the cauliflower. It also takes some of the moisture out and also allows us to infuse some flavor. Keep it moving. You don't want this to burn. You want this to cook as evenly as possible. Luckily, it looks like I got all these rice pieces to be about the same size. And that really does aid not only in the presentation and the look, but also in the cooking. While it's not browning, I can definitely tell this has more of a yellowish, off-white color to it now, which is good. I think we're going to change that color now. Here goes the pink Himalayan salt. That's 1 teaspoon. Stir that in. Okay, the salt is now stirred in. Now here goes 2 teaspoons of black pepper. I know that looks like a lot. And it may be for most people, but I love black pepper. So you can adjust how much you put in, depending on your preference. Okay, I think that does it for the rice. Our rice is done. Everything is ready. We're about to make the Kung Pao... What? What? Yeah, don't worry. Here's food facts. Chinese food as we know it probably dates back nearly 4,000 years. Archaeologists found the remnants of an old noodle from that era on the upper banks of the Yellow River. By the Han Dynasty, that's Han Solo from Star Wars. That's Blake Carrington from Dynasty. Thank you. By the Han Dynasty, 2,000 years later, the foundation of what we know as Chinese food today was probably set, as was many of the dishes we enjoy today. America's love affair with Chinese food began about 170 years ago with the advent of the 1849 California Gold Rush. That's right, that gold rush in California brought nearly 20 to 30,000 Chinese immigrants over into the United States. Love doing that voice. Mostly from the Canton part of China, which is better known as Guangdong. America's first Chinese restaurant opened in San Francisco in 1849. It was the Canton Restaurant. Yes, by 1850, there were 5 more restaurants. And with the advancements in the American Railroad, Chinese immigrants and Chinese food started to move eastward. And to this day, there are 2 really hot points for Chinese food: San Francisco and New York. Visitors to these first restaurants were impressed by the decor, the cleanliness, the friendly customer service, and of course the food. All these hungry 9 or 49ers really enjoyed the food, which was hearty. It was also inexpensive, so they had big, full stomachs when they went out looking for their gold. They would go in and they would kind of chow down. Yeah, they actually called them chow chow houses. Oh, I love chow chows. Not the same thing, but you get the idea. As the California gold started to run low, anti-Chinese sentiment started to rise higher. Yep. Discrimination reared its ugly head. In 1882, the Chinese Exclusion Act was passed, which made it virtually impossible for any new Chinese immigrants to enter the country. Plus, the immigrants who were already here found it hard to work or even live. The odd thing is, Chinese immigrants were known for a stellar work ethic that was unparalleled by almost anybody who was in the market. But they did fight back. Yep, they fought back with the food. The food was key. At the time of the act, there were 14 Chinese restaurants in San Francisco. Now, despite the act, Chinese merchants were still allowed to enter the country. By 1915, Chinese restaurants became eligible for merchant visas, and that led to an era of huge expansion. At the beginning of the 20th century, chop suey joints started popping up in the major cities, New York in particular, and they became immediately popular. Young urbanites loved that the food was inexpensive, and they also saw it as a hip way to spend an evening. Yep, those young Americans thought it was so cool to be eating Chinese food prepared authentically, just as it was in China. Except that wasn't true. This dish would not be recognized in China. This was totally created to cater to American taste. Yep. As a matter of fact, this is not chop suey at all. Oh, there is a chop suey, but people from China would not recognize this. Chop suey's original definition means odds and ends, leftovers. That's not what this is. This is delicious, and we enjoy it, but it's not chop suey. Oh well, I still have my fortune cookie. Yeah, about that. Oh, I'm sorry. The fortune cookie was not invented in China. It was invented in Los Angeles by David Jung of the Hong Kong Noodle Company. Basically, he would run into a lot of unemployed people during the day, so he took the cookie and he put little inspirational notes inside and passed them out to give them encouragement. And that idea might not have been his. Actually, the first evidence of a fortune cookie was found in 1870 in Kyoto, Japan. Yeah, so the fortune cookie is Japanese. During World War II, China was an ally of the United States against the Axis. And well, in 1943, the United States officially abolished the Chinese Exclusion Act. Good, get out of here. That led to a big increase in immigration from China to the United States. And of course, Chinese food was about to explode. In New York in 1967, the Sichuan restaurant Shun Li Palace was the first Chinese restaurant ever to get a 4-star review in the New York Times. Particularly in the 1970s, the United States went nuts for anything Chinese, and there's a very good reason for that. The 1972 visit of President Nixon to Red China. Okay, now it's time for Chinese food trivia. Hey, do you like broccoli in Chinese food? Chicken and broccoli, beef and broccoli, shrimp and broccoli? Well, guess what? Until the 20th century, broccoli was barely known in China. If you live on the East Coast or the West Coast, you probably experience Chinese food a little differently. Do you like duck sauce? Yeah, you probably come from the East Coast. Out here in the West Coast, not a thing. Ever see General Chow's chicken on a Chinese menu? Yeah, me too. It's not Chinese, no. Well, it was invented in the United States in 1973 by that guy. In the middle, that's General Chow. There's the dish. And General Chow never said he liked chicken. Oh well. And finally, how big is Chinese food in the United States? Well, there are more Chinese restaurants in America than there are McDonald's, Wendy's, or KFC combined. Woohoo! Yeah. And that's Food Facts. Yes, I broke out the wok. Now, here's our tablespoon of coconut oil. this wok heats up real fast. Once that melts, we're going to put in our chicken, and we're going to start cooking our chicken. Oh boy, I can taste the Kung Pao already. These are all the ingredients we're going to need, and in goes the chicken. Sizzle! Oh yeah. Just keep it stirring. And we're going to keep doing this until our chicken is about 3/4 done. That's the advantage to chopping the chicken into equal pieces. They will cook at about the same rate. I do have some bigger ones in here, so I'm going to be watching them carefully. Yeah, the chicken is turning a nice color now. Remember, keep going. You don't want to burn it. What I love about chicken, and especially this is true of Kung Pao, is it's such a great protein. It absorbs so many flavors, and it's so versatile. You gotta love it. This wok is probably close to 30 years old. My mom used to cook with it, and of course, when it was passed down to me, I use it at least several times a month. I love stir fry, chicken, beef, sausage and pepper, shrimp, whatever. I love using my wok. If you're not sure how done your chicken is, simple. Take the biggest piece out and cut it in half. And if it looks like it's halfway done, then you're probably closer to 3/4 of the way done. But you can judge it from there. There are no rules. Well, there are rules, but you can do whatever you want. This looks like it's all 3/4 done now, for sure. In go the veggies. And now this is going to add a lot of fluid here because the water is going to render out of the vegetables. Oh yeah. Now you want to cook this until the veggies get a little soft. You don't want to get too soft. You want some of that crunch, but they're going to soften up a bit as they lose water. I'm glad I chose the red and the green peppers because it gives a nice color contrast. It's not just all green. It looks really, really special. It really does. All right. The veggies are getting to that right space now. Here comes, I didn't use ground ginger. I used powdered ginger, but that's okay. Putting in the ginger now. I'll put the Marianne in later. Ha ha ha! Gilligan's Island jokes, they're always funny. Oh yeah, we're almost done here. This looks fantastic. Next in is going to be the sauce, because we want to render that down a little bit. Okay. Here comes the sauce. The sauce is in, and of course that changes the temperature of the wok. So we're going to keep on stirring it as it reheats. Oh yeah, we want to render this a little bit so the sauce gets a little thicker. If it doesn't, throw a little xanthan gum in there, which I may do. That's a little bit of xanthan gum. That's going to help the sauce to thicken up a little bit. I have a very muted sense of smell, but this does smell wonderful. Keep on stirring. We're ready now for the peanuts. And you can put in as many or as few as you want. Or you don't have to put in any. I'm peanut crazy, so I always ask for extra peanuts. Oh boy, this is looking amazing. Oh boy, this looks just fantastic. I think we're just about done now. Okay, it's now ready to serve.
Ooh. Ah.
Low carb, homemade Kung Pao chicken with homemade cauliflower rice. Oh, this looks spectacular. I mean, this looks like I just got it at a Chinese restaurant. It really does. And, you know, it always amazes me that these dishes are never as hard to make as I think they are. Because if you follow the steps and you just go step by step, it comes out wonderful. Oh man, this is a huge portion. I'm glad I didn't cook more. There's actually still more in the wok. There really is. And I cannot wait to taste this. It's low carb. And it's one of my favorites. And let's see if it measures up. Oh man. Oh man, let's get some chicken. Here we go. Oh. Oh. Exactly how I like it. A touch of sweetness, a touch of sour, hot, spicy, crunchy. The vegetables crunch. The chicken is delicious. The saltiness of the peanuts. Oh man, and like I said, this rice, you can't really tell it's cauliflower. It adds to this beautifully. Now, yeah, I like it more peppery. You can take the pepper out if you like, but oh boy. One more. Oh man. I'm going to be making this all the time. And you know what? If you love hot and spicy, or even if you just like Kung Pao or Chinese food, you should too. Well, that's it for this week. Thank you so much for watching. Be well. Eat good. On the next Off the Cuff, it's time to whip up a pot of comforting, rib-sticking goodness. Today, I'm going to show you how to make wonderful, delicious, low-carb chili. Before I know it, it's time for a good old Western showdown.
Reach for the stars, partner.
Please don't shoot, I'm unarmed. In Food Facts, we find out what suet is. This is a picture of it. Yes, very appetizing. It's warm, spicy, love in a pot. Oh boy. This is a winner for the next couple of days. Chili fever. Join me for Off the Cuff Healthy Cooking with Craig Mitchell. Alternate Sundays at 7:30 p.m. right here on